Keith Kellogg arrives in Kyiv. First details. Can reach Moscow, Trump may send offensive weapons to Ukraine. And how, after Trump's Patriot pledge, Kremlin suddenly wants dialogue. The latest news next. Keith Kellogg, the US President's special envoy for Ukraine, arrived in Ukraine on Monday, July 14th. His visit is expected to be a lengthy one, according to Andriy Yermak, head of the Office of the President of Ukraine. According to Yermak, the key topics of discussion will include defense, strengthening security, weapons, sanctions, civilian protection, and enhancing cooperation between Ukraine and the US.
Russia refuses to cease fire. Peace through strength is President Donald Trump's principle, and we support this approach.
Kellogg announced the visit. It's worth noting that Kellogg had previously announced his upcoming visit to Kyiv. He spoke to Ukrainian media in Rome last week during the Ukraine Recovery Conference. According to Kellogg, he plans to stay in Ukraine for about a week. Ukrainian's foreign ministry spokesperson, Georgy Tikhy, confirmed Kellogg was expected in Kyiv and also announced that more meetings would take place between Ukrainian and US representatives at various levels. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy added that the US special envoy would be briefed on Russia's military capabilities and Ukrainians' prospects. Zelenskyy instructed Commander-in-Chief Alexander Syrsky and Chief of the General Staff Andriy Ignatov to provide this information.
We are also preparing meetings between President Trump's special representative and the heads of the security service of Ukraine, as well as our intelligence agencies. The information will be comprehensive.
Today, July 14th, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy held a meeting with the US President's Special Representative for Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg, one-on-one and in an expanded format. This was reported by the presidential office. It is noted that Zelenskyy thanked Kellogg for the visit, as well as for participating in the conference on the restoration of Ukraine and the meeting of the Coalition of the Willing in Rome, together with Senators Lindsey Graham and Richard Blumenthal.
We are grateful to the U.S. President for all his messages and really strong decisions to resume supplies to us. We are grateful for the bipartisan support. We had a very good conversation in The Hague with Mr. President and had a telephone conversation. We made certain decisions that are very positive for both countries.
Not Kellogg's first visit. This is not Kellogg's first trip to Ukraine. His previous visit took place on February 19th and lasted 2 days. In addition, Kellogg visited Belarus in June, where he met with the country's self-proclaimed President Alexander Lukashenko in Minsk. During their talks, they reportedly discussed Russia's war against Ukraine. However, Lukashenko later stirred controversy with a propaganda-laced statement claiming that Kellogg had promised to work on limiting Ukrainian strikes on Russian territory. Kellogg denied this, stating that his words had been taken out of context. Following Kellogg's visit to Belarus, Lukashenko released several political prisoners from jail. Among them was Sergei Tikhanovsky, husband of opposition leader Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. US President Donald Trump is set to announce a new weapons plan for Ukraine today, which is expected to include offensive weapons, according to Axios. Two sources told the outlet they have reason to believe the plan will likely include long-range missiles capable of striking deep inside Russian territory, including targets in Moscow. However, neither source was aware of the final decision.
Trump is really pissed at Putin. His announcement tomorrow is going to be very aggressive.
Axios notes that the delivery of offensive weapons would mark a major shift for Trump, who until recently insisted that he would provide only defensive arms to avoid escalating the war. Yes, Ukrainian and European officials hope the new weapons will change the trajectory of the war and alter Kremlin dictator Vladimir Putin's calculations regarding a potential ceasefire. About new plan for Ukraine aid. The new initiative, expected to be announced at Trump's meeting with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte, envisions European countries paying for US-made weapons that will be delivered to Ukraine. The proposal was originally suggested by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy during the NATO summit 2 weeks ago. US and Ukrainian officials also said that Trump's meeting with Zelenskyy at the summit was the best one they have had so far. In recent weeks, Trump has reportedly grown increasingly frustrated with Putin's refusal to negotiate a truce and the escalation of Russian attacks on Kyiv and other cities. One turning point, according to the report, was a July 3rd phone call during which Putin made it clear he planned to escalate the war. The Kremlin chief indicated that over the next 60 days, he intended to intensify efforts to seize territory up to the administrative borders of Ukrainian regions. He wants to take all of it, Trump told French President Emmanuel Macron shortly after his call with Putin, according to a source with direct knowledge. In the days that followed, the weapons plan evolved from a concept into something more concrete. On Sunday evening, Trump told reporters the weapons to be sent to Ukraine via European countries would include various pieces of very sophisticated military equipment, including Patriot air defense batteries. Trump's upcoming announcement. Trump recently announced he would deliver an important statement about Russia on Monday. Yesterday, in an interview with CBS News, Senator Lindsey Graham also said that Trump was likely to make a surprise announcement today, one that could result in a record flow of US weapons to Ukraine. The head of the Russian Direct Investment Fund, Kirill Dmitriev, has called on the United States to engage in a constructive dialogue. About backstory, US President Donald Trump said recently that he was once again irritated by the intransigence of Russian dictator Vladimir Putin, who during their last conversation directly stated his intention to continue the war in Ukraine. He also said that he could provide Kyiv with additional military assistance, including the Patriot system. Trump noted that he considered Putin a man of his word, but he bombs everybody. What Putin says. After these statements, the Kremlin's main negotiator with the United States, Kirill Dmitriev, posted a message on Twitter. He emphasized that constructive dialogue between Russia and the US will always achieve more than the tired, destructive language of pressure. In his opinion, only cooperation brings real peace, stability, and global security. Dmitriev mentioned Joe Biden probably to please Trump. Biden's mistakes and deception will be corrected. The world deserves better, Dmitriev wrote. He also duplicated his previous post in which he published the results of a poll showing that 61% of Russians believe that Russia should strive for friendly relations with the United States. Earlier, we said that Trump plans to meet with NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte to discuss Ukraine and other issues. Also, German Defense Minister Boris Pistorius said that he was to meet with the head of the Pentagon today. He will discuss with him the proposal made a month ago for Germany to receive permission to purchase 2 Patriot air defense systems for Ukraine. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Support Ukraine, like and subscribe.